What is going on, everybody? I hope everybody's having a fantastic Sunday evening. Yeah, I decided to wait a little bit before I came on just because I like to decompress after games because they usually get me pretty wound up. So, for those of you who have jumped in here or are going to jump in here on either the live or the replay, thanks for popping in. How is everybody doing? The 49ers are 2-0 to start the season. A hard fought victory in a pretty hostile place. Wasn't a pretty win, but a win is a win is a win, and we'll take them. That game was super physical on both teams. There was some casualties. The Eagles lost a couple guys. Looks like Brandon Graham could be out for the year with an Achilles. The Niners talk about that running back depth. It looks like it's all but depleted. Don't know if any of the injuries are serious, but the Niners, like I said, it was a hard fought game. The Niners played a solid game on offense, defensively solid, bend but don't break. But yeah, no, we didn't get out of this one unscathed for sure. So I'll take a look right now, actually, for you guys. The injury list right now is of the following. It's defensive tackle Kevin Givens ankle, running back Elijah Mitchell shoulder, even though he popped back in at the end. Running back JaMychal Hasty ankle. They don't know the severity of it, and of course Trey Sermon with that ridiculous cheap shot hit that he got concussion. So, that's the status of that. Deebo Samuel and Kyle Juszczyk both had cramps at the end of the game, but neither of those guys are seriously hurt as of the post-game report, so that is good. Yeah, crazy emotional game that had me on the edge of my seat and, kind of irritated at sometimes. Jimmy had a solid game, still inconsistent, though. He left us out there. He left some plays to be made out there. Jimmy was 22 of 30 for 187 yards and one touchdown. His one touchdown being the throw to Juwan Jennings, his first NFL TD. So way to go, Rook. That was awesome. The Niners total yards versus the Eagles. Eagles 328. 49ers 304. But remember, of the 328 of the Eagles, one of them was a 91-yard pass play. What a fantastic goal line stand that the 49ers displayed and able to take what could have been a momentum shifting play and stealing the momentum right back. The Niners were able to march down the field before the end of the half and take the lead, which, this is one of those games where kind of reminded me of the Steelers game last year. A hard-fought game, a game where people, some people got knocked out of. Wasn't pretty, but in the end, we made enough plays, more than the Eagles, and we were able to figure out a way to get out of there. Deebo Samuel had 6 catches for 93 yards. He played really solid. Jimmy had a nice throw to him over the middle on that first scoring drive before the end of the half. Great throw by Jimmy. Great catch by Deebo, and then, of course, Deebo doing the rest. Wide receiver wise, though, the Niners have been pretty quiet. It's really been Deebo and nobody else. Now this week, I'll say the reason for that being was that Philadelphia pass rush was pretty ridiculous. They played really well. They gave the Niners fits. The Niners didn't really have a chance in the run game. They had to take a lot of stuff and start kicking it outside with a lot of swing pass or, pitches to the running back instead of handoffs, because the interior of that Philadelphia defensive line was just wreaking havoc. The Niners didn't have a great day on the run game, but they were effective enough to still have the play action work to some degree. Pass protection was pretty good. The 49ers did not give up any sacks today and only 2 QB hits. No turnovers by the 49ers, which I think is huge because the Niners last year had a huge issue with turnovers. So In a game that you could have understood if they committed some turnovers, especially Jimmy with the amount of pressure he was under. He had one kind of errant throw over the middle, but it really wasn't his fault. He got hit as he threw. Like I said, he left some plays out there. He played solid enough to win though. It's frustrating because you can see, like, if he could just make certain throws, like, like other guys can get involved. But he has his weaknesses with, throwing outside the numbers and things like that. But like I said, he played good enough to win. He played solid when it counted. And I'm really happy how Jimmy has played the last 2 weeks, coming from a guy who's like super critical of him. I'm going to give him his props. Like I said, plays were left out there. We could have done a lot more. But a victory is a victory, and I really don't care at this point. So I'm not going to be picky. Can I be critical? Absolutely. But I'm not going to sit here and hate on a guy who's, has a winning record with us. Pinor says, I hated Kyle's play calling at times. He kept trying to run power, yet Mitchell was only seeing a wall. Toss plays worked to charm. Yeah. Sometimes he outthinks himself, Pinor, by the way he runs this offense. I don't understand. It's not rocket science. Sometimes Kyle likes to think that he's the smartest guy in the room. A lot of times he is, but sometimes he just outthinks himself. And he's still very, very conservative, but I understand because, he works with Jimmy's, limitations. So sometimes you have to kind of protect players from themselves. So I get it. Like I said, there was a couple throws out there where if Lance would have been in there, I think he would have made the throws. But I still think Jimmy has a calming effect. I still think Jimmy is the best guy for the job right now. Long term, that's a whole different thing. But right now, he looks like the best guy for the job. Like I said, the defense played solid. They didn't play lights out. They gave up a good amount of yards. I'm really happy to see Javon Kinlaw play today and get a blocked field goal. He played well at times in the run game. My man Nick Bosa had 2 sacks today. The Niners didn't get a ton of pressure. I think part of it has to do with the fact that they're playing a running quarterback, and I'll get to that. Niners still struggling with that mobile quarterback thing, man. The teams are going to eat them alive with that. That's, if I want to pick one thing out of this win, is that the Niners still struggle with quarterbacks getting outside the pocket. I mean, they adjusted their rush lanes. They weren't so crazy going after the quarterback because they knew what they were dealing with. And still, he was able to break contain multiple times. So, and the play that he got down the sideline where that bogus penalty was called, that should not have happened. I understand the Niners were playing a lot of prevent and stuff, but still, like I said, you can pick things. It was a tough, well-fought game. You're going to win games like this. It's the beginning of the season. There's such a long season to go. You can't make any observations that are really concrete right now just because it's such an early part of the season. Like I said, the Niners suffered some guys out in this game, so that's definitely something to watch. But my thoughts on Eric Armstead, I guess he played okay. He didn't really do much because I didn't hear his name called. So Solid Root says, I'm surprised Trey didn't see the field when we went 3 and out in the first couple series. Yeah. You just want to put him in positions where he can be successful. You got to remember, though, too, they're trying to win a game on the road. And against a really, really furious pass rush, might not have been the best position to put him in. With rookies, you want to put them in positive situations if you're going to work them into your offense. You want to put them in, like, goal line stuff, like what they did the week before. Put them in positive situations so that positive outcomes happen. But, yeah, Armstead didn't do anything because I didn't hear his name. What's going on, Luke Luna? How you doing? J Mouse, what's up? 2-0, guys. 2-0. Like I said, I will pick at things. There was plays left out there to be made by a lot of people, Jimmy too. But the important thing is we got the victory. I don't think most of the running back injuries are super severe. I mean, like I said, Trey Sermon got a concussion, so that might cost him a couple games, but it's not season ending. The only one that concerns me is Jermichael Hasty. It's an ankle. So we'll see. Huge props and huge shout out to D'Amico Ryans. I think he called a great game, considering I think his guys just still got to finish when it comes to getting to those quarterbacks. The Niners got to figure out a way to fix that because they're going to get eaten alive by Russell and what's his, I'm talking about from Arizona. I can never remember his name. So they got to figure out a way to do something about that. Those are the things you could pick. Kyler Murray, yes. So, that's one thing that I just kept noticing during the game. I thought the defensive backs played pretty well. Other than Lenore giving up that huge play, I thought he played really well. You didn't hear much from Josh Norman, other than a pass interference. I will say this about Josh Norman and Deamador Lenore. We have to always take into consideration who was the quarterback, too. I don't think the Eagles have the most prolific pass game, but I'm not going to take any whatever away from anybody. Everybody played well. You just be realistic when you watch games. I always watch with an objective eye. I don't get too high. I don't get too low. The only thing that got me really low last week was the injuries, and those will always piss me off because I think from top to bottom, this roster, when healthy, we're as good as anybody. So it was definitely like Luke Luna said. I love this game. You want to know why? It's trench warfare, and we didn't have any. Yeah, we had some injuries, but you're going to have them in a game like this. Like I said, the Eagles got beat up too. I think Brandon Graham's out for the year. I'm not sure. I know they lost an offensive lineman too. Yeah, it was a physical game. I thought that the hit on Trey Sermon was a cheap shot and dirty. I know it is the NFL, but he was hit twice in the back of the head, contact-wise. And so you wonder if anybody's going to get a fine or anything from that. The Niners made this game way too interesting at times. They had two penalties or in the game where the Eagles helped them out with personal fouls, and the Niners couldn't capitalize. But in the end, Niners won the game. That's all that matters. You don't get a win. Style points don't count. Only W's do. So I'm happy. Jay Mouse said Trent Williams allowed 0 sacks. Yeah, Trent played fantastic. Luke Luna says, I also love this game because it taught this team so much. Then, yeah, it's funny. Both games were so ridiculously different, but I thought they were both great teaching points. One was keep your foot on somebody's neck and don't let up no matter what the score is and what the time left on the clock is. And then this game was just a battle of attrition and outlasting somebody and having the will to keep going. So I'm definitely hoping that the Niners take heed with these lessons. It was nice to see Seattle lose. So the Niners are atop the NFC West with the Rams and the Arizona Cardinals, who should not have won today, but I digress. Hasty stinger in the ankle or the Sermon. Yeah, I mean, those are the injuries. I don't know if either of them are going to be long-term, to be honest with you. So hopefully we'll get some updates tomorrow with the Monday press conference. How's it going, Tanya? How are you? Welcome to the stream on this 49er victory Sunday night. Glad everybody was able to come in here. Aaron, the Vikings choked. Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. There's been so prolific quarterback play, but I also realize that if you look at the defenses of everybody in this division, everybody's gettable. And that includes us. I mean, I think teams can move the ball on us too. Now, I think us healthy, I think we're maybe the best defense in the conference, but this defense you can score points on. So if the Niners get into it with these guys, with any of these guys, I think they could put points on the board. It's just a matter of the Niners trying to outlast people without, having a ton of injuries. I just think the injuries are the determining factor of our season. more than any opponent, more than any coach of any other team or any player. It's the injuries. I feel like talent-wise, we're good enough to beat anybody. We just, we have a hard time. Yeah, if you listen to the post-game press conference with Dennis Brown, he's miffed because he played during the era of the 90s where guys just didn't get hurt like that. But yeah, he's miffed with the injuries just like we are, and we're fans. So hopefully none of those things that happened today are serious. Thank you, Jay, about the lid. Yeah, it's one of my many. Okay, Aaron, to me, those injuries aren't just football. Yeah. Something has to be done. Like I said, like I've been posting a lot of my community tab because I've been the Niners change their philosophy. Like I said, if they change their philosophy on their drafting and their free agency pickups, and they stop always going for guys that have a lot of injury issues, I think a lot of their injury issues are going to subside. If you notice, most of the Niners' best players are guys that have injury problems, and those guys are always hurt. So it's not really a big mystery of why they're always hurt. If you have an injury history and you're drafted to a team, you're going to have injury history in the pros, just like you did in college. If you're a guy like, say, like D Ford, who had injury history, he had medicals coming into the NFL. He's been hurt most of his career. None of it's surprising because you have a history. It's one thing if a guy comes to your team and has never been hurt and all of a sudden gets hurt. That's one thing. But when it's like most of your star players having this issue, it's a drafting and free agency philosophy. Niners survive onto Green Bay. Yeah, I was a huge win, man, Danny. I think, to me, I was really nervous because I want us to go into that Green Bay game with a little bit margin for error. You know what I mean? Because it's still Aaron Rodgers. You want to go in with margin for error. You don't want to go in 1-1 and then drop 1-2. So I was happy about that. Luke Luna says it is what it is. Yeah, for now, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's true. I know. I'm just waiting to hear the report on JaMychal Hasty. That's the only one I'm really concerned about. Yeah, the Hasty fumble, I'm really concerned about. The one to Trey Sermon, I think that was more to do with him getting hit the way he did. But he was down, so it didn't count anyway. So Kittle is not a fantasy tonight, I guess. I don't give a. Yeah, Kittle's a blocking tight end first and a receiver second. I think we just have to come to the conclusion with this team that that's what he is, and I'm totally fine with that. I just want to say to this man right here, if you can see my Nick Bosa jersey, yeah, he played a good game, even though he had 2 sacks and he was relatively quiet. Those 2 sacks mattered. So, way to go, Bosa. I hope he stays healthy, man. I'm a big Nick Bosa guy. Like I said, I hope he can stay healthy. I love Nick Bosa. He's one of my favorite players. I got all my favorite players are guys that are going to be here long term. Fred Warner, Kittle, and hopefully Bosa. I never do quarterback jerseys, guys. If Trey Lance comes on and becomes a great passer and is prolific and gets into Pro Bowls and maybe wins a Super Bowl, I'll get a quarterback jersey. But until then, not happening. Yeah, I saw that. That's what he gets for leaving us, right, Tommy? Yeah, Kinlaw, I'm a critical guy of Kinlaw, but it was nice to see him get that field goal block. That was huge. All those things matter, man. How do I feel? I feel fantastic. I think it's great. With all the injuries they've had so far and how both games kind of had a different way of playing out, you had one that we were up and we didn't keep our foot on the necks of the opponent. And this one was a battle of attrition. It was about outlasting your opponent, who's going to break first. The Niners are the better team with Philly. Like I said, the one thing that I will say, though, Jay, is that the running quarterback thing is something we have to solve because until we do, teams are going to keep beating us with it. They might have lost, but he was able to break contain more than once in that game. And it's something, like I said, it's early in the season. Hopefully we can coach it up and change, things can change. But man, those are frustrating. Like, you can see him a mile away too. When the pressure comes from the backside, he's just going to roll right. So Great Time Ocean said, "Yo, Aaron, 2-0." I know. I'm happy. I am. I really am. I'm very nitpicky. So I apologize. Yeah, Armstead is super slow off the end. Grant Cohn gets on him all the time about being slow. He's like the worst guy in those plays. I love Armstead as far as how he does against, on base defense and stuff, but he is just not a pass rusher. It's almost comical how many times he gets beat around the edge. Not that Bosa did much better chasing guys down, but like I said, Niners defense played solid. Bosa played good. Um, we didn't have any turnovers. That's key. We had no sacks. I think it was only 2 QB pressures. Uh, Definitely rest in peace, Paris Harrelson. Yeah, I talked about it on my last stream. So sad, a guy at 37 to be gone. Not exactly sure what happened to him, but definitely rest in peace. This victory's for him. 2-0. Super, super pumped and excited, guys. I'm wearing my all white right now, even though I'm really white, but whatever. Like I was saying before, I said the Niners needed this game before playing the Packers. I just think it was super important to get this type of game, uh, for the amount of physicality that was in it and the amount of just hard fought playing that was in it. You wanted to come out with a victory in this one, with all the, they call the, guys going out, guys getting hurt. You at least wanted to come away with a victory in this one. And I thought it was awesome that we were able to escape and hold pat and hold serve on the road and go 2-0 on the road. I thought it was a successful road stint. There was a piece of press conference or a post game that I wanted to play from Shanahan, but I didn't download it, where he talked about the Niners being 6-0 on their last East Coast road trip or something along those lines. But the Niners just have a way to find out a way to do their business on the road since 2017 or 18. The last couple of years, the Niners have been really good on the road. So props to the coaching staff, props to everybody. West Virginia was like a second home this week. So hopefully the Niners in the future have to come out here. They can do the same thing until it stops working, because it worked. Just like the Cincinnati, when we played Cincinnati in 2019 and we stayed on the East Coast, those were huge. It builds a lot of team camaraderie, us staying out here. So huge win, guys. Definitely huge win. We allowed 11 points, but Kider and Ross are, yeah, exactly. You are correct. Yep. They are a different class. It's like, no slight on Jalen Hurts and those receivers, but Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, Russ, yeah, you're right. They're in a totally different class. But, we just got to play the game our way. Like I said, I think we can move the ball on those guys. If we can run the football and play our type of offense and keep our defense fresh, we might not, win the game and only allow 3 points. It might be somewhat of a shootout, but give ourselves a chance to win against those teams. Division games are always hard. We know that. It's never going to change. The NFC West is one of the best division, if not the best division in the NFL. So, yeah, you're right. Different class completely. The QB sneaks, in my opinion, was successful beat. Oh, definitely. Alex Mack is totally the difference this year from the last couple of years with center. I pray that he doesn't get hurt. He's a solid, really good offensive lineman this late in his career. And you're right. Jimmy was killing it with those quarterback sneaks. I want to keep him healthy, though, so I don't want him to keep doing those. So hopefully we can just blow teams out of the water and we don't have to worry about it. But, yeah, those were all thanks to the push that he gave up front. I definitely agree with you on that one. Yeah, Jimmy LG is elite at the sneak. He always has been good. Yeah, he learned it from the GOAT. The GOAT's really good at it too. It's funny. Tom Brady's super stiff and tall, and he's really good at the sneak game as well. So, yeah, I'm super confident when Jimmy goes for quarterback sneaks. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like super confident. Like I don't get scared. I always think he's going to get him. Pick six. Tyrann Mathieu just returned an interception from Jackson. Yeah, I think the league is starting to get a book on Lamar Jackson, guys. Unfortunately, those kind of quarterbacks, man. If you're not able to throw, eventually teams are going to be able to find out and start to devise ways to beat you. So, yeah, Chiefs. Like I said, the Chiefs, Bucks, different class. The quarterbacks we talked about in the NFC West, different class. But you still took care of it. We still took care of business. We still won, regardless of who we played. You play who's on your schedule and you beat who's on your schedule. So what if some of them aren't super prolific? Who cares, right? We won. We're going home. We're playing in front of our fans in our throwback Reds, and we have Nick Bosa and D Ford coming off the edge against Aaron Rodgers. So those guys can stay on the field and stay healthy. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a repeat of the game a couple years ago where we boat raced them. I don't think it's going to be, but you can hope, right? I think the Niners offense can move the ball on the Packers. I have no doubt in my mind for that. So definitely looking forward to that game next week. Were there any injuries? Yes. Michael Hasty went out with an ankle. They don't know the severity of it. Trey Sermon, in his only carry, got cheap shotted in the back of the head and left with a concussion. I'm trying to think who else here. Here, I'll put it back up. Give me a second. Yeah, defensive tackle Kevin Givens, ankle. Elijah Mitchell, shoulder, even though he came back. Jermichael Hasty, ankle, and Trey Sermon, concussion. Those are your injuries. And like I said, Deebo Samuel and Kyle Juszczyk both had cramps, so they're okay. But yeah, that was the injury report for the game. We'll probably find out more in the press conference tomorrow. I'm hoping nothing's bad. Like Luke Luna said, none of them are season ending. At least we hope so. That's a good thing, right? We need to bring back Gore. I don't know about that. I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but I mean, we'll see. Maybe. Who knows? Wish the 49ers went after the Badger. Yeah, he's a pretty damn good safety, although our safeties played pretty good today, guys. Our safeties played pretty good. You got to admit, when healthy, we have two of the best safeties in the NFL, no doubt. Jimmy Ward and Jaquiski Tartt are fantastic safeties. And this is coming from a guy who's like super critical of them because they were always hurt. They're really good at their jobs. Like I said, I pray those guys stay healthy because when they're in and they're playing at their best, they're a pretty damn good tandem. You know, everybody gives Jamal Adams all the props, like he's so great and everything. And yeah, he's done his thing, and he's proven to be a great player in this league. But I think our safeties are pretty damn good too. So props to them. I thought the corners played solid today. Other than the big 91-yard play, I thought Diamador Lenore played fantastic. Josh Norman, other than a couple pass interference penalties, played solid. But like Jay in the Bay was saying, we're going to play some great quarterbacks coming up. So I saw the corner from Minnesota play today, the one that the Niners wanted to trade for, and he looks fantastic. I wish there was a way to trade for him, but I just don't see that happening. But for now, we look pretty solid. We escaped this game without any season enders, I think. So that's a good thing. Like I said, 2-0. Do the Packers play tomorrow? Do you guys know? Do one of you guys know? Can you tell me? Because they didn't play today and they don't play tonight. So they got to be playing Monday night, correct? That'll be an interesting game to watch. Hopefully they can, lose another one and then we can come out and make them 0-3. But we'll see. Like I said, we just got to worry about our next opponent. I ain't really worried about anything more than that, You said Gore wants to go boxing? I didn't know about that. When is Mosley going to play Lions versus Packers tomorrow? All right, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Danny. Damn, who is this running back? What? Wait, what? I have no idea who's the running back. They've had some injuries this year too. The Ravens, they're just as bad as us as far as season enders go. I'm going to say that Debo Samuel has been far and away our best receiver for sure, and you would like to see other people start to step up eventually. Right now, it's pretty much been Debo and Kittle and not much else. Juwan Jennings had his first touchdown catch today, so props to him. I'm happy for him. But yeah, hopefully as Ayuk gets healthier and healthier, he starts to become an integral part of this passing game because we need more than Debo. If something was to happen to Debo, I think he'd be screwed. So hopefully Ayuk can get healthy and teams are gonna lock down Kittle and teams with good defensive lines. Kittle's not going to be as much of an option in the pass game, so other guys have to step up. And yep, no sacks allowed. You're right. I mentioned that earlier. Yep, no sacks allowed. Do you think the Eagles would get to the playoffs and be serious force to be reckoned with the continual play thing? I don't know, man. That's the long game right there on that one. He's definitely a threat to get outside the pocket. And their defense will keep them in a lot of games. But their passing game is still leaves a lot to be desired. I think Jalen Hurts is a work in progress as far as a quarterback from the pocket. So that is something I don't really know, to be completely honest with you. It's just hard to assess that at the moment. Was Lance at the game? Yeah, he they didn't use him. Both Kyle Shanahan was asked at halftime if he would be used, and they said no. There just wasn't a place in this game you could really put him in. You know what I mean? You want to put him in a game where you're up and you're driving and you're close. You want to, like I said, you want to put him in positive situations. You want to put him in areas where he can succeed. You know what I mean? This defense, I don't think would have been the best test to have him go out against and say, here you go, Rook, go up against one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. You don't want to do that to the kid. Like I said, you want to put him in positive situations where he can make plays and stuff. So I think with the Packers next week, hopefully he'll be in. Like I said, I think the Packers defense is gettable, so we'll see. Jennings should play slot. I think he was in the slot at some point in this game. You know what it is with Jennings? He's not super fast. I noticed they have to make they have to do screens and things of that nature. They have to kind of manufacture ways to get him open. Looks like he has a little bit of issue getting separation, but that's just me. That's not an official, synopsis or whatever of him. That's just my observation. Eagles D-line, oh, not even close. That they were so good. They killed our run game today. We had to switch it up. We went with a lot of pitch plays late in the game. Running up the middle against that defensive line you just need to forget it. But like I said, Jimmy looked like 2017 Jimmy on some of his scrambles today. I was happy to see him not be a complete statue back there and move his feet. Like I said, there was a couple throws that he left out there. He has an issue throwing to the boundaries. I tweeted that, and I also put it on my community tab. I think Jimmy has a hard time throwing to the boundaries. Jimmy makes his bread and butter over the middle. That's just where he's good at. The throw to Debo before the end of the half was fantastic. But he leaves some throws sometimes out there where guys can get smashed, and he leaves his receivers out there to get punished. So those are my quirks with him that get on my nerves. But like I said, he played good enough for us to win. He did what the coaches asked, so that's all you can really do. Oh, it's official, brother. Jennings lumbers. What do you mean he lumbers? Like he's slow? He just doesn't look super fast to me. I don't know if he's quick. I agree, but don't agree. You can't wait, what? Don't you agree you can't baby the kid Lance how he's supposed to get ready versus D line? You just gotta. Yeah, I know. You're right too. Yeah, definitely. You're right. He's got to just get out there, but it's not my choice, man. I would love to see him out there, but I'm going to trust Kyle right now to do the right thing with him, and then let the chips fall where they may. All I know is we're 2-0, guys, and we could nitpick this thing to death. I'm sure the 49ers are nitpicking themselves too, because that's what good teams do. They're never satisfied, even after a victory, nor should we be. It's okay to be critical, guys. It's okay to be to criticize, as long as you're just not an ass and just criticize for no reason. Like, I'm the first guy to criticize Jimmy Garoppolo, but I'll also be the first guy to give Jimmy props if he plays well. I've changed my thinking a little bit since I've had Luke Luna in my chats all the time. He's made me see that like it's not always all Jimmy, and that he is an effective starter when healthy and when placed in the right situation. So, yeah, I'll always call guys out, but at the same time, if guys do good, I'm gonna give them props. And Jimmy played well enough. Did he leave plays out there to be desired? Yes. Does he still struggle to throw to the boundaries? Absolutely. But he didn't throw any interceptions today. He didn't give up any sacks. The one throw over the middle that was almost picked, that really wasn't his fault. He was getting destroyed as he threw it, and he stood in and was tough. So Jimmy's a tough guy. I mean, he's injury prone, I guess you could say, but he takes some shots. So I was happy to see him kind of stand in there and take some hits today, if that makes any sense. Is Trey ready or not? In my opinion, no, I don't think he is yet. Honestly, I think Trey is extremely talented, but extremely raw. So you guys are right. I mean, he has to get in there. That's the only way he's going to stop being raw. It's a tightrope right now with him. But I just think if the Niners are in games where they're up and they're doing well, I think those are the best times to put him in. But I could be wrong. I mean, Kyle Shanahan might have some plays for him later on down the season where he's in a lot more. So who knows? Jimmy can't throw it over Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson on his neck. Zach Wilson is a bust. Yeah, he ain't looking too hot right now. It's funny. Everybody likes to crown everyone in the preseason. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Tommy Huxley, the $2. I appreciate it. It's amazing how everybody crowns people to be the next and greatest thing in the preseason, and then the regular season comes, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, he's not really that good, or whoa, he's not ready. So it's the freaking preseason, man. Like, people need to relax. I heard Kyle interview with Matt Mioka, and Kyle said, we try to get Trey plays because we don't hold him back for 2 years. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's ready right now, but I think, they're trying to give him enough plays, yeah, like you said, to get in there so that in his second year he will be ready. So 49ers Ultimate Report, what's up, man? This game made me mad at times. So glad the 49ers. Oh, I was hot as hell during this game. I've gotten a lot better though, guys. I used to throw stuff and curse and just be an absolute clown watching games. I'm so quiet now. After last year with the injuries and the Super Bowl and how that ended, I've mellowed out, because the Super Bowl was like the ultimate disappointment, right? There's no coming back from that. That's like as low as you can feel. And then last year with all the injuries. So I've just learned to be really calm watching games now. Um, and then I listen to the post game after sometimes, and then I decompress after games. Before I come on here, you woke up, you woke up your lady yelling at the first quarter. Yeah, I wasn't yelling. I was getting frustrated though to myself with just the uh, just plays being left out there. I was mad at Jimmy early, but I was also mad at the defense for letting the quarterback break contain, especially at the end when we were up 2 touchdowns. That was such a lame. And then the penalty that they called on who is it, Ward? What are you supposed to do in a position like that? I was listening to the Niners post game, and Dennis Brown, who played for the 49ers, like, what are you supposed to do? He's not a quarterback at that point. Once you're that far down the field, it's even Steven, man. Like, you should be able to destroy a guy. And the fact that he's tight roping the sideline, it's garbage. Do you think Miami's going to go all in on Deshaun Watson if Tua doesn't? Not until his legal troubles are sorted out. But I told my brother, he's a Dolphins fan. If there's a chance and his legal troubles get figured out, yeah, I would go. I mean, they got our first rounders, right? So why don't they, right? Another mediocre performance from Kyle Shanahan becoming a weirdo, not using his talent. Yeah, I don't know if I'd call him a weirdo. I just think he coaches very conservatively, unfortunately. Don't be surprised if they want to keep Jimmy until his contract is over. I'm not going to be surprised by anything, Luke, at this point with his franchise, to tell you the truth. Did you see the offsides in our first drive not called? Yes. Yes. There's some pretty shoddy officiating going on today. There was a lot. I don't know if you guys noticed all the holding that was going on last week with us when we were playing the Lions, and we were getting held a ton in that game, and they didn't call it. The Fins are done. I don't know about that, man. They're 1-1. It's so early in the season, bro. I don't think they're as good as people thought they were going to be this year. I still think they have. I think quarterback is their biggest issue. They also have issues with injuries, just like us too. They have an issue with certain guys that are always hurt that have injury history on their team. So we're not the only ones. Nobody has them as much as we do, but they're kind of along the same lines. I want a Patrick Willis jersey from 49ers Ultimate Run on his podcast. Have the game. Great guy. Great guy. Yeah. 49ers Ultimate Report is a good dude, man. He's like me. He's a straight man. He plays it straight. We're calm when we do our shows. Oops. During the we're going to score 30 points. Eagles only scored 11. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they have that kind of offense to score 30 points. I thought that Atlanta sucks, man. Like, I'm surprised they scored as many points as they did against the Bucs. Dude, what's his name is washed. I don't know how they held on to him for another year, Matt Ryan. It's over. Falcons, I don't know, man. Like, that whole situation where they could have got a quarterback this year and they didn't is beyond me, but that ain't my squad, so I'm not worried too much. Oh, you won it? Oh, I didn't know that. Nice. I did not know that. Congrats, brother. John Jay, you had a guy on your channel that is the biggest clown I've ever seen. I heard that happened with CG too. I heard he had some goofball on his channel. The other, I don't know if he was a Lions fan or whatever. Yeah, it's a hit or miss game with this YouTube thing, guys. Sometimes you have really nice people on your channel, and then you have complete ass clowns. So, I've gotten lucky. I haven't had any idiots on my channel yet, so I'm a lucky person. But there's always time, I guess, right? John Jay, I joined the membership on your channel. No, that's what I said. Yeah, it was his guest. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had any. Like I said, I haven't had any goofy guests on here to start. Do I ever go on? Yeah, I've been on Jay and the Bays, 49ers Alternate Report, CG Ruthless Sports. I'm trying to think. I've had a lot of people on here. I've had Eric Crocker. I've had John Chapman. I've had Jason Aponte. I've had uh, a lot. I haven't been on as many people that I've been more have been on my channel than I've went on theirs. Some fat guy Eagles collaboration. I guess we're cool. Amin says a lot of things I disagree with, but he's a smart kid. Yeah, for his listen, I give him props. He's a young kid. Um, you know, little dude living in his folks' house with his own YouTube channel. He's been on, dude, if you can get on and have like a weekly discussion with Grant Cohn and his dad, you're pretty special. So he's only going to get better at what he does. I wish that the internet and YouTube were around back in the early 90s, when I was in the infancy of my 49er fanhood during the great days where we were good. But unfortunately, for any of us who are in our 40s, we lived in the dark ages before all this stuff. So, but it would have been cool to grow up during a time like now with all these things that you can do, all these different avenues you can, do collaboration and stuff. But hey, I'm doing it now. I'm having fun. I make a little money off of it here and there, so I can't really complain. And I have cool guests like you guys that come in here and discuss things with me, and are pretty polite for the most part and don't cause a lot of problems. So I can only be thankful for that. You guys are generous. Uh, there's some fans that are just stupid, even in our own fan base. What jersey do I have on? Bosa. I have small bear on right now. Yeah. I got Kittle I have 2 Kittle jerseys, a Bosa and a Fred Warner. I would love to have a quarterback jersey, but you guys know until we win a Super Bowl or something, or Trey's been the quarterback for a couple years and he's really good. I just every time I get a quarterback jersey, I always regret it. Nice, you got the Bosa red, sweet. You're wearing your red Ayuk, awesome. Yeah, I didn't wear one during the game. I usually just am in a t-shirt. I get really sweaty watching games. I know that's like you guys don't really care, but I get really hot watching games. So and I don't want to spill food on it. So after the game, I put my jersey on, and I figured I was going live, and I had to rep a jersey. So that's the only time I really wear them. Plus, I'm a little heavier. I've gained a little weight, and so my jerseys fit a little snug. For some of you guys know what I'm talking about who have dad bods. And I refuse to buy super huge jerseys like 3X, 4X, not happening. It's just, it puts pressure on me to lose weight. So tell him to go on a diet and realize his team is overhyped. Don't go to the schoolyard hijinks. They lost. That's all you need to say. They lost. Man, I wish there was a way you could screen people before you have them on your channel. You know what I mean? Like do a like I've done face to faces before, like before streams, but yeah, it's hard to kind of know. But I've had pretty good luck um, with people, and for the most part, most of my guests are good talkers. It sucks when you have a guest on who's that really affluent, and you kind of have to carry the whole thing, and you run out of topics to talk about, and it's like, oh, this is your viewers are going to watch this and be like, oh my god, this is horrible. So I used to have a Jeff Garcia jersey. What do you think? I used to have one too. He was one of my favorite players back in the day. And the fact that he was a redhead like me and had a really receding hairline, it's not receding. It's just I have a gigantic forehead. But yeah, I was a big Garcia guy. And a lot of people used to say I look like him when I used to cut my hair. So Aaron, BPS are cool, and so is Bird Gang. They're delusional, like most Philly fans. Oh, I didn't know. Well, yeah, you have your own people in every fan base that are delusional. There's delusional 49er fans on Twitter that, like, anytime you say anything remotely negative about the 49ers or Garoppolo, it's like warfare. Like I said, I'll give constructive criticism to anybody, Garoppolo, anybody, but I'm also going to give praise. But you should not be not allowed to give constructive criticism. Like, even though we won today, you guys watched the game. You know we're not a finished product. So am I wrong to come out and say, hey, Garoppolo left some throws out there, and hey, the defense needs to tighten up on running quarterbacks, and the run defense needs to get a little bit tighter? You should be allowed to say whatever you want, as long as you're not just stupid and don't know what you're talking about. So you say you're shallow in general. Hey, listen, guys, it's over with. We beat them. We move on. My hope is that Aaron Rodgers is just like totally overplaying football. And when they come to our place next week, we beat the brakes off of them and he just decides he doesn't want to play anymore. So that's what I want. I'm only worried about the Packers right now. And I'm worried about, I want to figure out what all these, what happened with Jermichael Hasty and stuff. Fans should criticize if their team is not playing well, but don't be an idiot for, like if me and my nephew ever would have done the podcast that we wanted to, or the YouTube channel, we would have got a lot of pushback because we're both very critical, cynical, and people don't want to hear that. So, but for the most part, I'm pretty straight about things, and I'll criticize if I have to, and I don't get attacked too much. So you guys are pretty awesome about that. Do you say you like your women thick? I'm right there with you. Well, I like them petite too, but I like them thick as well. So whatever. Did that guess you say no one on the Niners scares them? They have a great D line and got 0 sacks. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't watch that because I would have had to say something really, really inflammatory in the comments to this guy. So I'm kind of glad I didn't see that. What you guys think of D'Amico Ryans in this game? You think he bounced back pretty good, considering how they, what happened at the end of week 1? Because I thought he bounced back pretty well. Again, the Eagles, like Jay in the Bay said, they're not their level of quarterback into the guys that we're going to face are totally different. But I thought D'Amico had a pretty good game out there today for sure. Good game, SF. We'll see you in the playoffs. Go Birds. Can we not talk playoffs right now? It's so early. It's literally week 2, guys. Let's wait 15 weeks, 14, 13 weeks. I don't even want to think about the playoffs right now, man. I just want us to get out healthy in every game. That's my biggest concern. Well, guys, not much more left to say. The Cowgirls are going to beat the Beagles. Sorry, my friend. Oh, Beagles or Bengals? Oh, the Eagles. Yeah, Cowboys are, the Cowboys got talent. I don't know how good their defense is, but their offense is pretty good. I think Zeke is way overpaid, to be honest with you, but that's just me. How about that Kinlaw block? He did that against UNC in college. Take it easy, right? Playoffs creates anxiety. Yeah, let's not talk playoffs right now. What's up, clown man? How you doing, man? I could just imagine you watching that game today from what I saw during the Trey Lance pick. I would like to be a fly on the wall in your house when you watch games. You must be a freaking riot. Eagles equals Beagles. Gotcha. Honey Badger, another pick. Yikes. Jeez. He's not having a really good start to this year, Lamar Jackson. Like I said, man, people are starting to figure him out. That's why I'm glad, in a way, Trey Lance is more of a passer first and a runner second. I don't think Trey Lance is ever going to be Lamar Jackson as far as a running quarterback, because I think his startup is slow. He's not as quick off the draw, like when he first moves. And the fact that he can make throws from the pocket. Once Trey figures out a way to get more accurate and read a defense better and start to figure out the intricacies of the game, I think he'll be a better quarterback, to be honest with you. It's 14-7 Chiefs. I don't know about you guys, but after games, I'm like completely spent mentally and physically. Like, I have one more day left on my vacation, and then I go back Tuesday. So it's been fun. I've had a chance to get on with you guys 2 Sundays in a row, and the Niners have won. So it's going to be nice to go back to work with my team 2-0. I wish the Niners could have stayed a lot more healthy, but for now, I'll take what I'll take the roster that we have right now. Hopefully, the running back situation isn't too bad, and we'll get some answers in the next couple days with the press conferences and stuff. Lamar just not that good. Just not that good. Great running back, but not a good. Yeah, once the same thing happened with Kaepernick, though. You remember that? Like, he's just once you figure out that part of him, they're easier to stop. Unless you play the Niners defense, and then they can never stop any running quarterbacks. But I digress. One day we'll figure out how to stop running quarterbacks, and then we'll be the best defense of all time. But all right, guys, it's been about an hour. I think that's a good time to wrap it up. Thanks for everybody coming in here and intermingling and for the most part behaving yourselves. I might be on Bashar of 49er Minded tomorrow on his channel. I'll share it in the community tab if I'm on there so you guys can catch me. We were talking before the game about doing it, and then both of us were getting stressed. So he was like, I don't know if I want to do it. I'm so mad right now. But yeah, I might jump on Bashar's stream of 49er Minded. And if I do, I'll share in the community tab. But everybody take care. Everybody have a fun rest of your Sunday evening. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Maybe I'll do some streaming this week after work. All right, guys. Take care. Take it easy. Thanks for the super chat. And I'll see you guys later. See ya.